Now we are paying attention to the content analysis. We already know about the thematic analysis and how it is working under which contexts, right? When it comes to the content analysis, different researchers again having different ideologies about the or different opinions about the content analysis. Some scholars are saying that thematic analysis comes under content analysis, because even in the thematic analysis we look at the content of that of the bulk of information, right, in a particular data set or the transcription. But again, with the recent development of this internet networking, right, and the web-based data, the content analysis has been shifted more into analyzing the web content or the user generated content. But it doesn't say that it is applicable to the conventional analysis of the transcriptions. No, we cannot say that, right? The content analysis can be used for this conventional analysis and the user generated content. And again, if you are not going to identify a particular theme with the theoretical backgrounds, the best way or the best thing is to employ the content analysis, not the thematic analysis. And again, in the Julius and Strauss 1993, he developed this particular model that I exhibited earlier. We have the open coding, and thereafter we have the axial coding or the category development, and thereafter we move into the thematic analysis, right? And if you are not intend to do the thematic analysis, we can stop at the categorical development and we can call it the content analysis. So let's look at the definitions of the content analysis, right, or basic the theoretical arguments, and thereafter let's perform the content analysis through in vivo. According to Cobb and Runert, and it is an observational research method that is used to systematically evaluate the symbolic content of all form of recorded communication. The symbolic content, what is there basically, right? So there is no particular theory that we are going to introduce into that during the analysis. Yes, but during the discussion we can of course do that. So we just need to have a glance at it and how it's going to work around our data set. And it is also a systematic coding and categorizing approach used for exploring large amounts of textual information unobtrusively to determine trends and patterns of words used, their frequencies, their relationships, and the structure and discourses of communication. In the in vivo, right, like I said earlier, we have the word frequency analysis, word cloud analysis, right? So using such methods, right, such tools, we can get the some insights into our content, into our transcription, right? And the content, the purpose of content analysis is to describe the characteristics of the document content by examining who says what to whom and with that effect, according to Blue and Wood, right? That is into the conventional analysis. And content analysis is not only focused on the emanating themes, it can go further to count the number of occurrences of the themes or content in the data or the quantification. The word cloud or the word frequency analysis or the coding will help us to quantify how many references are there, right? And by looking at the references, we can calculate the relative worth or the value or the volume of each code that we develop, and we can compare it with other codes, right? So that is again content analysis. So we can make our clouds, the word cloud analysis may be little bigger, different colors, right, font size bigger, it appears like that. So that is content analysis again, and it could be either inductive or deductive. And content analysis is a general term for a number of different strategies used to analyze the text, right? So this is a kind of the powers and map. Here in their article, they say the thematic analysis comes under content analysis, right? Okay, there are certain overlapping areas. Why? The first step of both thematic and content analysis is almost same in the conventional coding process. The content analysis is highly used for websites or user-generated analysis, according to Ham and Carr, right? Because now we have the blog sites, right? Different bloggers are there, and the travel experiences and the newspaper articles, everything appears, right, in the internet. And by analyzing those user generated content, we can definitely get a kind of a sound idea about those, about the about a certain phenomena being discussed. So it helps us to go through, I mean, to reach our objectives without any interferences, right, without being obstructed by the outside parties. And we do not have to walk outside our offices even. The data is available within the internet. And again, the cost really goes down really, right, and it helps us to save our research grant as well. And the content analysis is well suited to analyze the multifaceted, important, and sensitive data. And if conducting exploratory work in an area where not much is known, content analysis may be suitable for the simple reporting of common issues mentioned in the data, right? Suppose we haven't conducted the research about a certain issue, and we do not know what it is about, and we are not sure whether we will be able to develop kind of themes, right? So the best thing is the reporting the data, or the whatever the reporting of the situations, right, what the occurrences there, what has really happened there. So in such cases, the content analysis really helps us. And the content analysis uses a descriptive approach in both coding of the data and its interpretation of quantitative counts of the codes, right? As I mentioned earlier, the one of the main features of content analysis compared to the thematic analysis, the content analysis help us to develop the quantification, help us to quantify the codes relative value, and how we can the and the relative importance of each of those codes, and based on which we can reach our objectives. So this is the word frequency statistics, right? And this is the data I of my TripAdvisor paper, that the comments, about 400 comments were obtained, retrieved from the TripAdvisor, and when we analyze it, we could rank them from 1 to 20. Of course, you can go up to 1,000 with the NVivo tool, and the frequencies are presented. And when you are going to present these word frequency statistics, we have different options by using the word tree. We will talk about that as well in the NVivo. With word tree, you can identify the associated words. For example, the TripAdvisor reviews will talk about the place, right? The most repetitive word has been placed, and the second one was visit, third Jaffna, fourth temple. And the associated words: good place, beautiful place, peaceful place, holy place, magnificent place, cultural places. Actually, the associated words, you cannot generate it simply, but the word tree analysis will help you to identify the associated words, and with that you will be able to generate this particular table. And this type of tables are also accepted in the qualitative research papers. So basic steps in the content analysis: number one is the preparation, being immersed in the data and obtaining the sense of whole, selecting the units of analysis, deciding on the analysis of manifest content or the latent content, preparing for the quantification of the data. We need to have an idea, right? What type of meanings are we looking at? Is it the manifest content or the latent content? Usually the manifest content, I told you before, it will give the picture, the meaning of the picture as it is, but in the latent content, you go beyond the picture and try to unearth the underlying meanings of it. The manifest or the observable content, the tangible or concrete surface content data, and the content you look, hear, see, and watch. And thereafter, we have the latent content, is the underlying meaning of this symbol that comes under eggshell coding or thematic analysis. Number two, after identifying the data to be fed into the NVivo, and when we have a kind of an idea how we are going to code our data, we need to organize them. Open coding and creating categories, grouping codes under higher order headings, right? We have these parental codes and the child codes, as you remember, and the formulating a general description of the research topic, through generating categories and subcategories as abstracting, that can also be done. And step 3 is reporting the analyzing process and the results through models, conceptual systems, conceptual maps or categories, and if possible a storyline with the timeline, that can also be done. And all these models can be generated through the in vivo software. So this is a coding summary of the Beach Boys paper that I already shared with you, and here you can identify the main nodes and the sub nodes, and I purposely skip using the term themes, because I'm not going to develop the themes here, because this is a kind of an deductive research and it was based on previous literature. So I was making references to the international context then and there, right, as how they appear, and the references and their relative importance in the percentage are listed here, right. Now we are going to perform the content analysis.